Good morning. It's good to have you with us this morning. Whew, that's a hot cup of coffee. I hope your coffee is hot and your tea is, well, I hope it's coffee, but if it's tea, I hope it's hot too. Unless, of course, you drink that cold tea stuff, and then I think you should drink Diet Coke because, well, that's what I drink. So, how you doing on your radical life? Yesterday we talked about radical love, loving those who don't even like you. In fact, sometimes loving those who are even your enemies. Well, love is one thing, action is another. Jesus continues in that same section in Luke chapter 6, where he tells us to love our enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. He then goes on to say, to the one who strikes you on the cheek, offer the other. And the one who takes your cloak away, do not withhold your tunic either. Doing good is another whole level of radical. Jesus continues and says, and if you do good to those who do good to you, what benefit is that? For even sinners do the same. He wants us to do good to those who maybe don't do so good to us. Wants us to be nice, not just Minnesota nice, smile and wave, but be actually nice. You know, we often tell ourselves and tell others, just act naturally, just be yourself. Well, myself isn't all that great. In fact, myself is a sinful nature. I'm thinking only of me. Acting naturally isn't necessarily the best thing we can do. I think we have to act almost supernaturally. We have to act like God would want us to act. That doesn't come naturally to us. To be nice and kind to other people, again, we're born and bred to take care of ourselves. So this radical calling that Christ has placed on our life isn't just affecting how we love one another, how we pray for one another. It's even how we interact with one another. It's how we do good, be kind and gentle, patient. I heard a great story on Facebook the other day of someone who went into a restaurant with his family to get something to eat, and it took them a while to get seated. And once they got seated, they waited 10 or 15 minutes for them to come and get their drink order. And while they were waiting, they got their drink and their meal order all together so they could put it all in at once. And they did that, and then it took quite a while for their drinks to come, and it became very obvious to this parent as he's surveying the restaurant that they are really, really short-staffed, and that this gal who is waiting on their table is doing her very best to get everybody what they need. Finally, their drinks arrive, and at some point they wanted a refill and they couldn't find her. She was busy helping other people, so they just got up and went to the drinking fountain and got some water for themselves. And later their food arrived, and it was brought to them by the short order cook, because he's also the delivery guy today too, serving at the tables. And when they left a rather large tip. In fact, they left a tip that was equal to more than 3 times the cost of the meal that they ate. Because after all, these people were just doing their best in a bad situation. That's doing good to those around you. It's also being generous, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow as we continue our look at living radically, being radical. It's not all it's cracked up to be, but it is what we're called to do. And in the end, if we do what we're called to do, God knows. And he also tells us that that's the way to abundant life. I have come that they might have life and have it to the full, have it abundantly. You want to know joy, you want to know love, you want to know peace. Hey, here's a simple way. do what the Father asks. It's all Jesus did. And it worked out pretty good for him in the end. That whole resurrection thing, seated at the right hand of God. Well, I hope you're having a good day. My birds are going nuts at the feeder this morning. There have got to be 20 birds out there. They're just, it's like a war zone this morning. I don't know if they know something I don't know about what's coming today and weather-wise, but they are fighting tooth and nail to get at that feeder. So I hope that your day isn't filled with fighting at the feeder, because these birds need to do some radical sharing this morning. Well, enjoy your day. Be blessed. And hey, if you know someone that wears a backpack, usually that's students going back to school, let them know that we are having the blessing of the backpacks the Sunday after Labor Day here at Peace Arlington. We're going to, anyone that shows up that Sunday with a backpack, we'll invite them up front. We'll do a blessing for their school year, and we'll give them a blessing tag to put on their backpacks. We want to encourage you to be people who are praying for events in the lives of your community, going back to school, for the harvest, which will be coming soon, believe it or not. Let's be people of prayer, and let's be good to one another, radically good. Well, there you have it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.